Good morning, Magic fans. This is the May Alpha 40 Blue-White Vise deck tech that we ran on. This is the April deck as we ran it in the month of April in the league. It went 0-3 in our matches. There's a third match that we might try to play this weekend, but if we can't get it in, we're just gonna drop and go 0-4 on the month. And then I already got some ideas on how we might want to retool this deck for May. So we're gonna start working on that today to get a jump start on the deck building. But these are the 40 cards we ran in April. As you can see, we ran about half blue cards and about half white cards with some artifacts and dual lands in there. As I mentioned, it went 0-3. It lost 0-2 to a blue-green creature heavy deck. This deck in theory should be good against creatures because it has 2 Swords to Plowshares, 3 Unsummons, a Balance, a Serra Angel, Psyblast, and 2 Jade Statues. It just didn't quite have the right cards in the right order that we needed, so we lost to the creature deck. Then we ran into 2 blue-red decks. One was a burn deck that had 0 creatures in it. So again, having 3 copies of Unsummon and 2 copies of Swords to Plowshares often became dead cards in her hand, so that did not help in that matchup. And then the third matchup was really close. It was a blue-red, kind of a Goblins deck. They ran a couple Goblin Kings and a lot of Goblin Balloon Brigades. So the Goblin Balloon Brigades could gain flying and then also overwhelm our lowly Serra Angel. So I had the idea to sort of maybe make this more of a more classic blue control Vise deck. But I've played that before. There's a couple cards. I really wanted to play the third Swords to Plowshares that I picked up last month and maybe do more Swords to Plowshares, but I think I was really impressed with the blue-red decks that I saw. So I'm gonna try to join them this month in the blue-red realm. I'm gonna probably do a little screenshot here. Blue-red. So we have 3 lightning bolts that we would like to try to kind of incorporate into this deck. We'll have to change the mana base a little bit to make this effective for the month of May, but we'll run it and test it and tell you at the end of May how it goes. There's some other cards we picked up too last month that we might want to try as well, including this Basalt Monolith, which gives you 3 colorless mana. So I think if we're gonna run Basalt Monolith, we wanna maybe put in some X spells in this deck. So I'm gonna grab our Disintegrate and our Fireball and our Brain Geyser. And we're gonna put in some X spells this month. So let's take out this Jayemdae Tome. It's a good card. It didn't do as well as we wanted it to do in April, so I think we only drew a few cards off of it. Brain Geyser is better. It's also better as a finisher with these 3 black Vises. We can make the opponent draw a bunch of cards and then hopefully take enough damage to be lethal with the black Vises. So we'll put in Brain Geyser. We're also going to take out Balance as our destruction spell. Balance was really good. It doesn't play very well with black Vise though, because if you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, Balance takes the cards out of their hand and then sometimes puts them under the Vise. So we're gonna go with Chaos Orb because we don't have Armageddon or Nevin Neural's Disc. So Chaos Orb it is. We're gonna try to practice our flips this month and get better at Chaos Orb flipping. So that's gonna go in. We're gonna take out Ivory Cup since we're gonna take out some of these white cards, and we're just gonna skip the charms altogether because the charms are a little annoying in Alpha, to be honest, because they're just kind of broken the way you can gain a bunch of life off of those. So we're gonna skip the charm. Let's go ahead and put in Dark Ritual instead. We're gonna try to do some mana ramp stuff here. So we'll ramp for black mana. Instead of gaining life, we'll gain 3 black mana. We're gonna ramp this Basalt Monolith. We're gonna take out this Jade Statue. Jade Statue was good. It worked well with balance. I liked it. It wasn't quite lethal though. Let's see if we can get the ring light. Is it too bright on the ring light? Turn it down a little bit. That's pretty good. All right, so there's Basalt Monolith. We're gonna take that in there. Let's see here. We want to put in some X spells, so we're going to put in a Fireball. We'll take out Disenchant. We'll probably just go down to 1 copy of Disenchant and 1 copy of Swords to take out their major threats. Let's put in Disintegrate. Let's take out Sarah Angel. Sarah Angel was really good, but not quite a finisher, so Disintegrate will essentially work like a Swords to Plowshares. So if we take out one of these Swords to Plowshares, like that, we can put in this Lightning Bolt. And then we'll take out another Disenchant, put in another Lightning Bolt, and then we'll take out the second Jade Statue and put in another 3rd copy of Lightning Bolt. All right. 3 bolts, Swords, Disenchant, Fireball, Disintegrate. We'll keep Dark Ritual, or I mean we'll add Dark Ritual, but we'll keep Demonic Tutor and Regrowth because we want to tutor and regrow a Twister as many times as possible. We want to put in, we're going to make a little more burn heavy, so we have 2 more copies of Psionic Blast. So we'll take out our Unsummons. Unsummons were really good. They worked really well early in the game too. They work really nice with Black Vise because you put creatures back in their hand and they take damage from those. But I think if they are playing creatures, we can Psyblast their creatures. If they're not playing creatures, we can just Psyblast them. So we'll take out the 3rd Unsummon. We'll put in Mana Short. Mana Short's really good. Lets you tap all their land and then do whatever you want on the next turn, especially if they're playing blue and they can Counterspell or Power Sink or Spell Blast. We'll keep our Time Twister, obviously, in the deck, our favorite card. 1 copy of Counterspell to prevent being lethaled. Copy Artifact to copy Artifact the Black Vise or the Soul Ring, so we can also more mana ramp. And then now we're going to fix our mana base. We have 2 white spells, 5 red spells, 8 blue spells. So we want more blue mana, we need a lot more red mana, and not a lot of white mana. So let's take out this Plains, and we're gonna put in a Plateau, which will help us with white. It'll also help us with the red mana. We're gonna take out another Plains. We'll put in a Taiga. This will help us with red and green mana. That was one of our eBay Authenticity Guarantee cards that we picked up. They don't authenticate the signed cards, but they let that one slip through because they liked the seller. So we'll take out another Plains. We'll put in a basic mountain. There should be a Badlands. I don't have a Badlands, so I may go to see if they have it at the GP Minneapolis in May. So if I do find one, I'll probably put it in the June Alpha 40 deck. All right, we'll take out 1 more Plains. We'll put in a mountain like that. We'll keep this Plains in, and then I think we'll take out this island. Put in a mountain for that island. So we'll have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 islands for 8 blue spells. We have 3 mountains for 5 red spells. We have 1 plains for the 2 white spells, and then we have 8 dual lands for 2 black spells, a green spell, 5 red spells, and the 8 blue spells. So I think it's 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 8 and 8. So we got half basic lands, half dual lands, and if we can find a bad lands, we'll swap out one of these mountains for a Badlands. Let's give this a quick shuffle and goldfish, shall we? We'll see how this deck does. I'm gonna probably run it in May and let you know how it does. I don't think it's optimized. We're missing a few cards. It's alpha. Cards are pretty scarce. But if I find a Badlands, maybe I'll put it in this deck and give you an update sometime in May, maybe in June. Badlands provides red or black. It would be susceptible to volcanic eruption, but I haven't seen anyone play volcanic eruption in a long time. And I haven't seen anyone play karma in a long time either, which affects swamps, does damage if you have swamps. So I'm gonna try to make this deck a little more aggressive, a little aggro, maybe red, blue burn, or red, white, and blue burn. July is coming up. We could also make this more of a red, white, blue flyers deck. We could put in Mahamoti or Sarah back again. And we'll just see. What do you guys think? Is this deck gonna be viable? I think with the 1 copy of Disintegrate and 1 copy of Fireball and the Twister, if I do cast Twister, I get those cards back into my library, obviously. So we'll do a quick 3-pile thing. That. Draw 7. We'll goldfish this, see if this mana base is at all functional. We have some lands. All right, this might work. Don't have any red lands though. We have a couple duals. We have white, black, black or blue. So we could counter, no, can't counterspell anything yet, but we'll draw for turn. Now we got 2 blue sources. Let's go ahead and put, let's start with Underground Sea and drop a black Vise. Pass the turn and they're gonna take 3 damage off the Vise. They're gonna pass to us. We're gonna untap, draw 1. We got another island, so we could counterspell something. We could Brain Geyser, Time Twister in a turn. We will just pass. They'll take 2 damage off the Vise. They'll go down to 15. They'll pass to us. We'll draw. We got a Savannah. Doesn't really help. Let's go ahead and play this other island. Pass the turn. Time Twister might work too. Yeah, Time Twister actually might be pretty good here. Let's put some more mana down. They'll take 1 damage off the Vise. Down to 14. Pass to us. Maybe let's go ahead and counterspell something because we're gonna Twister soon. So we'll counterspell whatever they cast. That's our only counterspell in the deck. Untap, draw. And we got a red source, beautiful. Our first mountain of Alpha 40, I think. Which means we can, pew! We can lightning bolt them for 3. Put them at 11, I think. 17, 15, 14, yeah. They'll be at 11. Why don't we just go ahead and do that? Well, let's wait 1 more turn. Let's go ahead and just, we'll Brain Geyser ourselves for 1, because when we Twister, we'll get the Brain Geyser back. And we want to Brain Geyser them after. Let's do that. I guess we could Brain Geyser them and make them take a damage from the Vise, but I think we're fine. We're at 11. We're short on red sources, so maybe we'll pass to them. Then it's our turn. We'll untap, draw. Fireball, beautiful. Let's play the mountain so we can fireball them. let's just go ahead and do that. We can do 1 red, 4 colorless. So that does 4 damage total divided evenly, round down, and you pay 1 extra for every. So you could possibly do 1 damage to 2 targets, but we're just gonna do 4 damage to them. Put them at 7. They're still under the Vise. They do stuff, pass to us, we draw. Regrowth, we're not gonna need that. Let's go ahead and we have a black, we don't have a green, so let's do Savannah. We're gonna cast Savannah. Then we're gonna do Twister. So we'll tap a blue and 2 colorless. Let's do it like that. 2 islands and a mountain. We're gonna Time Twister. Time Twister. Shuffle all this stuff up, hoping we get more black Vises. I'm already liking this deck a lot. I think this is gonna, even without the strong mana base, I think we're pretty good. So they're at 7. We need to basically get another black Vise or 2. We've got 3 mana open. And then we'll just go fast. We also had a couple games last month that went like an hour and a half. So maybe this aggro deck will be a little faster. We'll see here. All right, so what do we get? Well, we got new. We could copy artifact that. Let's just go ahead and do that. We could also Fireball, Disintegrate. No other single spells. Psyblast will do 4. We could cast Psyblast. We take 2, but I think the move here is to tap the sea for blue, Underground Sea. Let's tap the Savannah for colorless. Let's copy artifact, the black Vise. So when we pass it to them, they'll have 7. They'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll be at 1 life. Can't do anything else. They'll pass it to us. We will untap. Let's hope they don't shatter or disenchant the Vise or the copy artifact. We draw. We got a Soul Ring. We are cooking here. Don't have any green cards, so let's tap the Savannah for colorless. We'll play the Soul Ring. We could do any number of finishers here. We have 5 mana to work with, plus the 2 colors. We have 7 mana. We could Psyblast twice. We could Disintegrate for lethal. We could also Fireball for lethal. So yeah, this looks pretty good. This is a pretty solid situation here. And we don't need the disenchant. They don't have anything crazy. What if we... Yeah, let's just try that. We'll do a blue and a 2 colorless. We'll try a Psyblast in case maybe they like counterspell or power sync maybe. Maybe they like power sync us. Maybe they do power sync us. Okay, so yeah, they counter, let's say they counter that one. But we still have ammo for the next turn in case we need it. But if they have 6 cards, they're gonna take 4. That's gonna be lethal anyway, so. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. We're gonna run this blue, red, white, aggro, Alpha 40 deck. Kind of a Vise deck, but with more aggro. It's a little faster. So this video also was a little shorter, so maybe that's a good sign. Maybe we're gonna get through some of our matches in less time in May. I will report back at the end of May, let you know how this deck does. I'll also let you know if we can find a bad land somehow to put all 9 dual lands. If there was Volcanic Island, we could have all 10 dual lands, but they did not print Volcanic Island in Alpha, so we cannot obviously play that card. So it makes red-blue a little more tougher to play, but we can still do it with all the, in the aggregate with all the other duels. So give this video a subscription if you want to see more content like this in your feed every morning, and definitely give it a like and a comment if you like Lightning Bolts or Psionic Blast or any cards in this deck. Thanks everyone. Have a great month.